hardest thing that happened after your child died? My daughter Zoe lost her battle with leukemia 8 years ago when she was only 7. I'll never forget holding her tiny hand as she took her final breath and whispered that she loved me bigger than the whole universe. But every year since then, on the anniversary of her passing, a small package has appeared on my front porch. Inside was always a handmade friendship bracelet, the kind with colorful beads and her wobbly writing on a little paper tag that said, "For the best mommy ever, love, Zoe." They were clearly made by her small fingers during her hospital stays, each one slightly different but always in my favorite colors, purple and gold. I always assumed someone at the craft store was still fulfilling some arrangement she'd made. I'd slip the bracelet on my wrist and wear it for weeks, feeling like she was still somehow taking care of me from wherever she was. This year, on what should have been her 16th birthday, I sat by the door starting at dawn, waiting for that familiar brown package. I checked the porch every 10 minutes, peeking through the curtains like a woman possessed. By evening, nothing had come. I called the post office, thinking maybe it got lost or delayed. I even walked around the neighborhood asking if anyone had seen a delivery truck. That night, I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't stop the horrible feeling that something was terribly wrong. I felt like I was losing her all over again. The next morning, I drove to the small craft store we used to go to together that I'd assumed was behind the deliveries. The teenage clerk behind the counter looked at me with confusion when I explained about the annual bracelets. She called over her manager, an older woman who'd been there for 15 years. The manager frowned and said they had never handled any special yearly deliveries. She offered to check their system twice, but came up empty-handed both times. I drove home in a daze, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. That's when I remembered the plastic storage bin under my bed filled with Zoe's drawings and school projects that I'd never had the strength to sort through. I dragged it out and dumped everything onto my bedroom carpet. Buried beneath finger paintings and spelling tests, I found a manila envelope with my name written in her careful, loopy handwriting, and underneath it, "For when there are no more bracelets." I was shaking so hard I could barely tear it open. Inside was a letter written on her favorite rainbow stationery with stickers of unicorns in the corners. The letter said, "Mommy, if you